recently, as I was walking and driving in traffic, sometimes walking in neighborhoods and different communities, I realized that there appears to be a great deal of poverty and lifelessness in the Black male. I observed individuals, especially males, hanging out on the street corners, drinking, smoking, doing kind of like loitering activities. Don't they have vision or purpose for living? So it dawned on me, what would happen if I took the time to dialogue with African American males to get a really good perspective on the Black man's voice? I fully understand that not until you experience a situation or talk to individuals that you can really begin to make effective changes. I thought to myself, children need good role models. And where I'm sitting, it looks pretty grim. So join me. I'm Evaughn High, host of Parenting in the 21st Century, with guest Greg Adams, as we attempt to take a candid look inside of the minds and hearts of the Black male. So Greg, welcome to Parenting in the 21st Century. And today I just want to talk about the Black man's voice. So tell us a little bit about yourself, and then I'll ask you some pertinent questions about parents and your parenting style as a Black man.
Okay, so I am a retired teacher from the public school system.
Oh, wow.
I grew up in Milwaukee, went through the public school system, elementary,
Okay.
junior high, high school, took some college classes, dropped out, went back, dropped out again.
Typical.
Yeah, that going back and forth. Started a family, got a job, so I'm gonna go back to some of this stuff later.
Right.
And then saw that, okay, my chances of advancement are slim. Let me go back to school now with a little more serious attitude. And then I went back to school and started working on, first I was doing chemistry classes. I was working at a chemical company prior to teaching. And I also did some other odd jobs here and there. And finally got into a mechanical design class, which was drafting, but then it eventually turned into mechanical design, working with computers. And I started teaching some of the staff there. And that rekindled my desire to become a teacher.
Okay.
When I was younger, I was like, yeah, I always wanted to be a teacher.
Oh, wow.
Well, so then I went back to school again and finished the degree, and then got certification, and then actually got a master's in education and was teaching. So I've seen with my life how a person can, have multiple failures or stumbles along the way, and then finally make up the mind to go. Now
So it's a mindset.
It's a mindset, because growing up in the hood and wherever I came from, Wright Street, 14th and Wright, that was 53206. At that time,
That's the same zip code I grew up in.
right. So I mean, we didn't use that as an excuse.
Me to this question. Is it really the white man's fault that Black men are in such a downtrodden state of despair?
No.
It is not.
It
You
is
don't think
not.
so?
Because now we have so much information available.
Okay.
We can say, okay, look, this is how the system works. And I go back to when I was, flip-flopping in and out of college. It was like, okay, hold it.
And now you know the reason why I ask you that, right?
Right.
Because that's the language that's being promoted.
Now, I'll say, is there prejudice? Yes.
Yes.
Is there oppression? Yes. Is there a system against allowing Black people to excel?
Yes.
I remember, like I said, I was going back and forth to school, so I took some math classes, and I said I wanted to be a machinist. I took some math classes. There was, at that time, A.L. Smith was still a big company.
Yes.
They put out a test for apprenticeship. There was several hundred people. I was one of 20 who qualified to come to an interview.
Yeah.
Wore short sleeve shirts, and I remember walking in the door and their faces looked surprised when I walked through the door.
Why were
Like
they
they looked at
surprised?
my black skin and wondered. And so they asked me, how did you know all this stuff? I said, I figured it out. So needless to say, I didn't get an apprenticeship because, I felt at that point they weren't looking for black men. I went to OIC at the time and talked to them about that, and they said, yeah, you should have brought somebody with you. Well, at that time, I was not in any program,
Right.
so I didn't know.
So they could have fought for you.
Yeah.
They could have been an advocate.
Right. So yeah, there's a system that says we don't think black men are intelligent enough to do this and whatever. And then when you prove them wrong, they're in a position to hire you.
However,
That's the way it is.
Yes.
So you don't get the job, so you end up taking, in my case, a lower paying job. And I was just like, okay, well, look, I need a job.
Yes.
And not at A.O. Smith. And thank God, because they closed down. Now, we have a mind.
yes.
My people, we built the pyramids. We designed the pyramids. There are pyramids all throughout Africa. Some people just focus right on Egypt, but there are
Yes.
pyramids all over. Medicine, all of that was practiced in Africa. The Greeks came to Africa to learn
Yes.
from Africans. So we were creative. Our people could take nothing and make something. During slavery, it was against the law to read. It was against the law to go to school. Our people taught themselves how to read.
Yes.
They invented clocks
Yes.
and all type of machinery.
And my father became a loan shark. He was very good in math.
Our people are
could
creative,
read.
can
Yes,
make
absolutely.
something out of nothing.
Yes.
So then it becomes, we need to wake up and say, I can, despite all of the odds, everything being against me. So now we got the system against us. Now we got each other against us too. That's a whole
That's
other story.
factored that in. We're gonna talk about that on the next show.
But yeah, we have the choice then to say, okay, look, yeah, that's all good. I worked 15 years at a company. A lot of the engineers there who were not black said I should be promoted to supervisor because I was working closely with the engineers, designing things. I could close my eyes and envision parts and create them and put them together. And I would go down to Illinois or go to certain foundries, and the people would sit there and say, well, how did you come up with this idea? I just thought about it.
Yeah.
That creativeness that's in our genes, so to speak. You can close your eyes even before the computer was invented, and I can see those parts spinning around in the air and just create it.
Yeah.
So we have that.
Yeah.
But then again, hit that ceiling. Okay, I'm not going to go any higher. That's when I decided to go to education.
And I think that also brings a lot of despair. It also brings something where you just feel like, why try if I know that there's a ceiling? I appreciate you calling us to check in with this. I just wanted to get your perspective. Now, when I talk about the black man's voice, do you have anything that you could share with us as you see? Because I talked about black men are, they're on the corner, they're drinking, they come out of a church or they come out of a funeral, immediately they're lighting up. And, it's kind of like disheartening for me because I see so much potential in the black man.
Well, that's a very touchy topic because I'm just one that believes like what America stands behind is this is America, the land of freedom, and everyone has the same opportunities to some extent, which we know that's not all the way true, but I just believe if you have life in you, you have breath to breathe, you have the same opportunities that I have to produce a positive image to others and to want the same desires I want, if not more. But in the black community, it is sad. It's just, man, it's hard to sometimes care so much, and sometimes you don't know if you're caring. You don't know if you're caring for the right person or the wrong person. It's a touchy topic in itself as a whole, man.
Okay. Well, thanks for your input.
Thank you. Well.
All right. Have a great evening.
Right, okay.
So, folks, let's just close this out. That concludes our podcast today. And you've been listening to Evaughn High. I'm with Greg Adams, my guest, and we're discussing the black man's voice. we want to continue this, but the next time we're going to talk about, because Greg talked about something that is in our in my clothes, art smart. Art is so powerful. Being an artist, art, also music, they all, creative side is all in the same family. And so this engages children and parents on a whole new level. And some people are actually using it as therapy. So we want to put emphasis on the art making process with children to encourage them to experience personal growth, self-expression, and wellness. Because what we're talking about, I believe now, is that our Black brothers need to be whole.
Exactly.
And so the Black Man Voice continues with Evaughn High and Greg Adams.
I could take away all of your blame. What would I claim from you? If I could prove to you my love is true and how you make me feel, that would settle it all. My love is nothing like small. I'd give my soul to you.